Warm, cinnamony, crunch tender churros are an irresistible treat, and you can make them extra special right at home by adding trendy touches. Heather Smith is sharing some adaptations for out-of-this-world churros for the at-home cook. First of all, I know that there's some inspiration for today's.
Yes, yeah. So like all good food things, they either come from New York or California, right? And they tend to come this way. But last week, Carson Daly did these loop churros and talked about how you can take this yummy, delicious churro and then add some fun things to it to make it even more exciting.
And these are really cool.
Yes.
I want people to see these are the finished version. They're kind of this looped churro. They've got sprinkles, they've got cereal, all kinds of different things on it.
Yes.
Really different from what we're used to seeing with a churro.
Yes.
And I did not think it was possible for a churro to get any better than it already was,
you take
right?
something that's sugar and cinnamon and they think, okay, it's good, but like all dessert things, they find something now. Instead of reinventing new things, it's like, let's just add to it, make it a little more fun.
Right,
So that's what we're gonna do today.
Okay, so show us how to do this because I've never made a churro at home.
Super easy. This is something we do quite often at home, especially in May with Cinco de Mayo. A lot of people are coming in buying stuff, and I love to see when people are coming in making stuff on their own because yeah, so we start with butter, sugar, water, and a little bit of salt. And you just bring all of those things to a boil.
So this is the butter with the water and sugar.
Yep, and we've just put all those together. And then we are adding a cup of flour. And you want to dump this in all at once. If you try and sprinkle it, it just doesn't work as well. Yep, so we just dump that right in. And then if you want to stir that, you're just going to make a paste and just keep stirring.
So you dump that flour right in there and kind of make it into a paste. Look at that. Yeah, it really does paste up, doesn't it?
And then once you've got it to about that, stir on the heat for about 30 seconds. You want to just kind of cook all those things together. And then once we've got it all for about 30 seconds, then we'll take it off the heat. And then we're going to just add some eggs into it. So if you want to slide it over here, and we'll just turn that on.
So we dump in our eggs.
Yep, and we just do a little bit at a time. Don't dump them all because you want to do it. You take it off the heat so it doesn't keep cooking because you don't want to cook those eggs into that and make like scrambled eggs while you're
we don't want chunks of eggs in our churro.
No, it's not as appetizing when you do that. But so just kind of mix that all together, and then we'll add a few more.
All right. So we're just adding these one at a time. And I was telling Heather that I was in Spain and they ate churros all the time with this kind of bitter hot chocolate. It was so good, dipping it in there.
Yes, I love
so to come and see it with cereal and all these other yummy things really makes it kind of fun.
It's fun to see when they will take something that's normally, because you wouldn't want to drink a whole cup of bitter hot chocolate.
No, you couldn't, but like dipping it in,
yeah, you mix it with that, then it makes everything delicious.
And serving it with the ice cream like they're doing, you know, dipping it in ice cream or having it separate. Looks good. And what about the deep fry versus baking?
So you can do it both ways. You can actually take this recipe and then go and deep fry it. We're going to show you today just like a quick version to bake it.
I love that you can bake it though, because there's something about deep frying. It really splatters all over the walls. It's all over the stove. It kind of makes it messy, right?
One thing that I found too is a lot of people are intimidated by it. The thought of a hot oil on their stove and catching fire, a lot of people avoid it just because they're afraid of it. So we're going to give you an option to do this. It does taste a little different. You're not going to get that hollow center like you do when you deep fry it.
The crunchy.
But when you're making a lot of them, it makes it really nice because you can pipe it right onto your tray and then throw it in the oven. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it in a pastry bag that's filled with one of these. They're called an open star tip. This is an Ateco 826, but you can get anything that has, this is what's going to put those lines on your churro.
Okay, so just a huge,
And so if you have two people, you can do it two-handed. If not, you can grab something to grab. That's okay, and just put it right in there.
Okay. One more scoop.
And this is where it gets a little fun. This batter is a little hot, so sometimes I will wrap it with a towel before but this one will be pretty good. So just twist it so it doesn't come off. And then if you want, you can pipe it on. You just pipe it on a parchment-lined cookie sheet.
Okay, and I'm doing it into a loop shape.
You can do a loop,
or what?
Yep, that's kind of the trend right now. These trendy churros that have the toppings on it are in this fun loop shape.
Okay.
Perfect, you're a pro.
Look at that. I should be a churro maker.
Yes. So once you have those, you pipe them all on there and then throw it in your oven, 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on, there's a ton of butter in here. And so it kind of comes around. It does caramelize a little bit. When you took it out, it doesn't look all the way done, but just take it out when it starts to get a little brown on top.
Okay, now let's get to the good part. Let's do the toppings. How do we do these?
Okay.
Are we doing it when they're just fresh and hot?
So you let them cool a little bit because while they're still hot, they're pretty, they have a lot of flex to them.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is brush them with some butter. That's gonna give it that yummy kind of fried
Okay,
taste.
brush with butter, yum.
And then you're gonna sprinkle it with the cinnamon and sugar. And then you'll let that kind of set up on there, and that's when it gets to be fun. So then you can take the glaze, and all this is milk, some powdered sugar, and then a little bit of vanilla. It's kind of
like a little frosting.
Yes, just like you would find on a donut.
Awesome.
So if you wanted to brush that on, you could. They do it on this top, right up here.
Loopy.
That's just going to help our topping stick.
This is the glue for the toppings,
That's
people.
right. And this was my kids' favorite. They loved these fruity pebbles that you could just
Kind of
pour on there.
tunnel around. Oh, how fun. Look at that. Okay, and then what about with the ice cream? Are we putting it into a bowl or?
So here we have a little bit of ice
look at this.
cream and the loop churro. So then you can eat it together, break some pieces off, eat some ice cream. Take that same topping that you would put on your ice cream. You can sprinkle over your churros.
How
have
fun.
some fun with it.
Wait, Heather, where can people find the supplies for this?
So we're at geeky.com, GYGI, or 3500 South 3rd West.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. Can't wait to get my teeth around these things. They look amazing.